What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class Sideswipe. This figure just arrived from BigBadToyStore.com. Now, my figure did get a bit smushed in packaging or in shipping, but no biggie. I'm going to get rid of the box anyway. Directions are on the back. Figure takes 10 steps to transform. Let's open him up and take a look. Out of the packaging, Sideswipe looks okay, if not for the fact he has a ton of car cable hanging off of him, especially on the back, and those weird points coming up along the sides of his head are a bit strange. The legs are okay, and most of the detailing is alright, but the figure just doesn't quite feel right. And that's really hard to show you here in the video review, but holding the figure, it doesn't quite feel like it's being held together well at all. And when we get into the transformation, you'll see why. Plus, the overall look of the figure I don't think is that good. I don't think this looks like Sideswipe at all from the show. He's about halfway to being what I would consider to be a decent Sideswipe toy. As it stands now, he just doesn't feel right in my hands. This is the best pose that I've been able to get Sideswipe into, and it's not a bad pose. This is probably the way I'm going to be displaying him. But I do have some real misgivings about the figure, specifically with the shoulder sections. Because of the way they transform, they're supposed to peg into the chest, and they don't stay pegged in at all, as is evident of his right shoulder. The left shoulder holds in a little bit better. I also don't like the massive doors that are hanging off of his forearms. You don't see that in the show at all, and it's a real shame, because it feels like they were really trying something interesting with this figure, but I don't think they succeeded. Sideswipe's head sculpt is okay, but feels awfully small for the body that he's been given. The face and head sculpt are fine, they are exactly what I would expect in the show, and I do appreciate the little smirk. The figure does have light piping in the back of his head, but his eyes have been painted somewhat, or there's something in the head that is blocking his eyes from actually piping the light. As you can see, there's nothing getting through to his eyes. His mouth is glowing. That's about it. Very strange decision on Hasbro's part. I appreciate the addition of a nice big sword, but I would have liked it to have been painted just a little bit. This is something that I can easily fix myself. The reason I don't like it being solid black is because the rest of the figure is black. He only has really two colors, black and red, and that's about it. There's nothing differentiating the sword from the rest of the figure other than, hey, he's got a long black stick thing. Sideswipe's transformation is really interesting and is quite unique amongst deluxe class figures, but because of the transformation we have a lot of problems, chief of which being the issue with the shoulders. So to get into the transformation, we're going to start off by reaching up to the front here and unpegging and flipping down part of his chest plate. That will free up his shoulders so we can flip them out. And when we flip them out, we want to make sure those red spike bits are pointed in parallel to the core of the body. Once these red bits are away from the body, we're going to put the arms pointing straight in front of the figure. That will then give us enough clearance to turn these red sections around over the wheels to form the wheel wells. So we'll do that for both sides of the figures. And the way you want to do it is to have the point that's next to the head fold out and away from the body. That really is the best way to do it. Once you do that, you can put the arms back along the parallel of the body, take the backpack and fold that up over the robot head, and then fold the arms up so they snap into place. Next, for the legs, what I like to do is fold the feet down just a little bit and then rotate the entirety of the outside leg along the wheel and the foot around the back of the figure, around the back of the leg, and that will fold down and into place like that. So the bottom of the foot then becomes the rear windscreen and the engine cover of the alt mode. So just kind of flip that around, and then once we get it to this point, we can combine the legs, and then we have a lot of panel gaps to deal with, and that's actually probably the hardest part of the transformation. Sideswipe's alt mode is really cool. I actually like it quite a bit. There are some issues with the paint, but we'll talk about that in a moment. I like the design back here with the kanji. I don't know if this actually means anything. And the Autobot symbol up in front is nice. However, I don't know why, but every single deluxe figure I have has their Autobot symbol kind of at a tilt off to the left. It's very, very strange. I don't know why all of my figures have that. There are two major issues with this alt mode, the first of which being the panels. Once you have everything in place, it does hold together okay, but if one thing is out of place, it just pops everything apart. The other issue I have has to do with the actual paint. And I don't know if it's the paint on the surface of the plastic or if it's the actual coloring of the plastic. And it's pretty obvious. The front fenders are not the same color as the hood, which is not the same color as the doors, which is not the same color as the rear fenders and rear quarter panels. None of the red on this figure is the same, which is idiotic. None of the red plastic on this figure is the same. It's so stupid and so annoying that I just want to repaint the whole figure. Cheetamus over at Allspark does live close to me, so I might just drive this over, hand it to him, and say, fix this. Because this is ridiculous. I mean, we have 5 different colors of red on this figure. Why? Why did this happen? The only place Sideswipe's sword can be stored is on the top of the roof of the car. That's it. It doesn't fit underneath at all. I wish it did. That'd be nice. I really wanted Sideswipe to be a better figure. He's not awful, but I don't like him. Kids might like him just fine, but there's a difficulty in this transformation that little kids are going to have a real problem with, and that has to do with the shoulders. And it's not a fun figure. It's not a figure that's neat to look at in robot mode, and it's not fun to transform either. It is just kind of a pain, and it doesn't hold together in any of the modes. And do you notice that I don't really care for this figure? I mean, it's not that obvious, is it, guys? But I see where they were going. I see what they were trying to do, but they failed. I don't think and they didn't just fail, they failed pretty badly, because they ended up with a figure that's just not fun to play with and is more of an annoyance than anything else. So guys, I would not pick this deluxe class Sideswipe up from Transformers Robots in Disguise. I would just leave it on the peg because he's not worth it. As always, gang, I am Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and please stick around for my next video review.